women, so another chance for the women to go well here, but very much a different field here. We're going to see for the first time Melissa Jefferson-Wooden, brilliant champion last year in Tokyo. More of her in just a second. We'll take them through from the outside. Parisot of France is going to be right out there in lane 9. Again, a bronze medalist on this track at the European Championships in 24. And an Olympic champion, Jullien Alfred, in great form, leading the world rankings. You can see that 21.86, not far off her personal best. That was a few weeks back, but is in great shape. Looking forward to her against the world champion, Melissa Jefferson-Wooden. Became the first American woman to win the 100, the 200 and the relay gold medal at the World Championships last year in Tokyo. Incredible performance. Is she going to get the win here? Not far behind her last year. Silver medal went to Amy Hunt. Bit of a surprise, but Amy Hunt always had the talent at 200 meters, has been running very well at the shorter distances, including indoors this season as well. And then Anavia Battle, I was actually chatting to her this afternoon. First time I'd had the chance to chat to her, and she was saying about how much she'd enjoyed her Chinese experience, and why not? We'd had a couple of Diamond Leagues there before. Dina Asher-Smith, can she go well over 200? Yet to get her season really going after an excellent indoor season from Dina. Bestue, the Spaniard's going to be in lane 3. All 9 lanes being taken up here. Kone from the Ivory Coast, flag bearer at the Olympic Games for her country in Paris. A 29-year-old. Already had a good few races, including at the African Championships. And then Valencine, the teenager, Italian teenager, 19 on the inside, with great experience for her here, with all these great champions outside her. So Alfred against Jefferson-Wooden, a race which we hope is going to produce some fireworks here. Interesting for me that Alfred's opted for that kind of... I'm not sure who got the call on the lane here. Technical meetings held the day before. There's always arguments, managers, agents, coaches kind of go, and sometimes it all slots in, everybody gets the lane they want. I'm just wondering whether that's where Alfred would like to be. Anyway, she's in lane 8, Jefferson-Wooden in lane 7, Amy Hunt in lane 6, Battle in 5, Dina Asher-Smith in 4. Women's 200 meters. Oh, Melissa Jefferson-Wooden got a cracking start. Jullien Alfred just lost a yard or so into that top bend. Amy Hunt struggling to stay onto those two. Dina Asher-Smith, as ever, running a decent bend, but so is Battle. But then out in front, it's Jullien Alfred. Jefferson-Wooden trying to run her down, but she's not going to catch her because Jullien Alfred continues to go away. Let's watch the clock. It's going to be very quick. 21.93. Plus 1.3 legal time. Thought it might even be a bit quicker than that, the way they were going. Those two were so far ahead of everybody else. And Jullien Alfred stays out there on top. Never get too much emotion from her, do you? You always sometimes wonder whether she's actually enjoying this. I'm sure she is, because that was a big win for her. Jefferson-Wooden coming out and saying, okay, let's have a go. We know that Jullien Alfred didn't have the season she wanted last year. She's talked about that. She said, I've come back this year. I feel as though I'm pulling it all together really well. Jefferson-Wooden had such a phenomenal 2025, but she starts this year with a defeat to Alfred.
I've been waiting for this matchup all week. It's just brilliant to get Alfred versus Jefferson-Wooden. And I don't know, I'm not sure Jullien Alfred would have had much of a gauge on what was going on behind her. I don't know if she even would have sensed the American on her shoulder, but if she had, it was almost like she threw her a little bit of hope, a tiny bit of hope in that first 100, and then just destroyed it in the last 50. The St. Lucian just had another gear here, and you can almost see Jefferson-Wooden kind of overstriding, desperately trying to keep hold of her rival. And when you start forcing it, it doesn't work. You start to falter. And Alfred as well, I don't know, I hope she's all right there. There was a real shutdown in the last 2 or 3 meters from Jullien Alfred. I'm not sure she would have been confident she had the win. And I think that's what let that time go as well. I agree with you, Steve. Down that last 50, I thought, wow, we're going to see 21.8 something. And it was just the final few meters. She looked a bit kind of uncomfortable.
There's a little stumble here, about 5 meters out. Just watch, maybe not showing it quite on there. It was pretty evident on that shot from the back. I think it might have been just fatigue. I think she was...
Ladies and gentlemen, as usual, The United States came to Rome expecting another statement performance. The Europeans were hoping for a home soil upset, but what happened in the women's 200 meters Diamond League showdown left fans debating on one question. Has the balance of power in women's sprinting shifted once again? Now, with Olympic champions, world medalists, and rising stars all lining up on one track, it's evident that this wasn't just another Diamond League race. This was a preview of what could happen at the biggest championship that's still to come this year. We are talking about 2026. And trust me, the results was not what many people expected. So I want you to stay with me because we are going to break down the race, the biggest surprises, the standard performances, and of course what this means for the rest of the season and what it means for the women's 200 meters sprinting category. Beautiful people, if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell because we'll be bringing you the latest track and field analysis, sprinting news, and the athletes' performances from around the world and some of the Caribbean news reactions. Ladies and gentlemen, the Wonder Diamond League stop in Rome delivered another spectacular night of athletics. But one thing of the most anticipated events was undoubtedly the women's 200 meters. If you watched the race keenly, you'll understand that the field was stacked. Olympic champion JULLIEN ALFRED, the American stars Melissa Jefferson Woods and another battle, British sprint queen Dina Asher-Smith, Amy Hunt, amongst the rest. The field was loaded with speed and raw talents. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Tyrell Reactions. Now, I want us to take a quick dive into this race. Coming into this race, all eyes were on JULLIEN ALFRED. Ever since her breakthrough performances, ALFRED has performed from a talented prospect into one of the most feared sprinters in the world. Every time she steps into the track now, expectations follow. Remember, big names equals big expectations. But she wasn't the only one athlete attracting attention. We had Melissa Jefferson Woods, whereby she has been putting together some of the best and impressive performances this season, and she was looking to prove that she belongs among the very best. Another battle has also been showing remarkable consistency. Meanwhile, British Dina Asher-Smith continues her quest to return to the very top of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, for many fans, this race represented more than just Diamond League points. It was an opportunity to see where the world's elite currently stands, who is peaking, who still has work to do, and of course, who could become a major threat later on this season. Now, as the athletes settled into their blocks, the atmosphere inside the stadium was electric. You could feel the anticipation. The starter called the athletes to their marks. The crowd grew quiet as the tension rises. And then the athletes, they immediately took off. When you look at the explosive start from JULLIEN ALFRED, you'll understand that she was composed. and her start was powerful. Her acceleration around the curve was smooth, controlled, and efficient. Unlike some athletes who appeared to be forcing the pace early, Julian Alfred looked relaxed. That is often the sign of an athlete who knows exactly how fast she can run. Behind her, we had Melissa Jefferson Woods, and the battle were working hard to stay within the striking distance. On the other hand, Dina Asher-Smith was also battling through the bend, trying to maintain contact with the leaders. As they entered the home straight, beautiful people, Julian Alfred found another gear that nobody saw coming. Her turnover increased, her form remained strong, and with every single stride, the gap began to widen. The race was effectively over, while the other athletes fought desperately for position. Alfred looked in complete control, crossing the finish line with a time of 21.93 seconds. She secured another impressive victory, a performance that once again reminded the world why she is considered as one of the most dangerous sprinters in the women's sprinting today. Now, I want us to talk about what makes these results important. First of all, running under 22 seconds is never ordinary. Doing it consistently against elite sprinters is what makes, or rather, it's what separates great athletes from the champions. Julian Alfred continues to demonstrate that she possesses both speed and consistency. We are talking about the champion mentality. Julian Alfred, in this case, she is a champion. Those two qualities, beautiful people, are extremely difficult to combine. One might have the consistency and lack speed. One might have speed and lack consistency. But in this case, we are seeing Julian Alfred display a very beautiful performances that has the both qualities. Melissa Jefferson, on the other hand, finished second with a strong performance of her own. While she didn't get the victory, beautiful people, there was plenty of positives to take away. Her ability to remain competitive against one of the world's best athletes shows that she is continuing to improve in her performances. Another battle rounded out the top positions and once again demonstrated why she has become such a respected competitor on the international circuit. And as for Dina Asher-Smith, there were encouraging signs despite not finishing where many of her fans would have hoped. The reason is still developing, and experienced athletes often use these races to build towards bigger goals later on this year. Beautiful people, this is what it means for the rest of the season. The biggest takeaway from Rome is simple. Julian Alfred is sending out a big, bold warning message. Every race she runs seems to strengthen her position as one of the leading contenders for the future global titles. But track and field is unpredictable, as we all know. Today's winner is not always tomorrow's champion. The United States remains loaded with massive raw talents, and so is the Caribbean. Europe continues to produce world-class sprinters. The Caribbean nations are never far from the conversation, and several athletes are still working their way into the top form. Remember, we also have the Jamaican sprint queen, who is Shericka Jackson. We also have the other Jamaican sprint monster, who the world of track and field had missed. And we are talking about the untouchable Elaine Thompson-Hare. Ladies and gentlemen, this means that the battles ahead could even be more exciting than what we've just witnessed in Rome. Now, if this race taught us anything, it's the fact that the women's sprint scene is becoming increasingly competitive. Margins are shrinking, standards are rising, and the fans are being treated to some incredible performances. Now, what I need right now is to hear from you. I want you to drop your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think the current winner, we are talking about JULLIEN ALFRED, is the best 200-meter runner in the world right now? Or do you believe another athlete will emerge as the dominant force later on this season? Once again, beautiful people, I've been your host, Tyrell Reactions. Remember, if you're coming across my channel for the first time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and also comment. To my returning subscribers, my returning viewers, I have to say thank you so much for the love and support. So until we meet again in my next episode, peace out and one love.